Hi everyone. We are going to talk about Tennessee today. This is a state I actually have been to. I went back, I think it was the summer before I started high school. I went to some big youth church event that was happening in Knoxville, and we got to stay at the university there. So I felt very grown up, like I was in college, even though I was just about to go into high school. So it was super fun. Knoxville, it was very hot because it was in the summer. But I just remember how green and beautiful it was when we were driving around from the airport to Knoxville. So that's really the only part I've seen. I've actually been in the Nashville airport. I think I was in that airport last year. Yeah, when I was flying to Philadelphia. But, I don't really count airports. But, yeah, I would love to go back and explore more, especially Nashville and Memphis. So anyway, let's learn about good old Tennessee. So these are the Great Smoky Mountains. It's such a pretty picture. So Great Smoky Mountains National Park straddles Tennessee and North Carolina. Excuse me. So obviously this is probably in the fall when all the leaves are changing color. So beautiful. And this is definitely more of a viewpoint. Looks like either the sun just set or it's about to rise. The park's peaks can rise more than 5,000 feet high. Just beautiful. The Country Music Hall of Fame preserves the history of country music because country music is a big deal, especially in Nashville, of course. So, and a lot of people who are country artists live there, as well as other people, other genres of music, but that's a big draw. This park covers more than 500,000 acres of land. It's really pretty. Spotted salamanders are not easy to spot among leaves. They are also only active at night. So these are critters you could see in Tennessee. Red-tailed hawks feed their babies until the young birds can leave the nest. This is the flag. Pretty simple, right? And okay, our symbol, state wild animal is the raccoon. State bird is mockingbird. State flower is the iris. And then there's the state quarter, which has musical instruments on it, which I think is very appropriate for Tennessee. All right, now let's take a look at everything else. So the nickname is the Volunteer State. Statehood 1796, 16th state. Population as of July 2016 is 6,651,194 people. And it seems like a lot of people are moving out there lately, so I bet that number's increased even today. The capital is Nashville. Biggest city is Memphis. Abbreviation is TN. State bird, mockingbird, and state flower is the iris. History. Talk about ancient history. Bones and artifacts over 14,000 years old, among the oldest in the state, recently turned up in one Tennessee backyard. It wasn't until thousands of years later that Native American tribes such as the Cherokee, Chickasaw, Creek, and Shawnee appeared in the area. Spanish explorer Hernando de Soto was the first known European to reach the land now called Tennessee in 1540. The French and English started fighting for control of the land in 1754 during the French and Indian War, a battle in which many Native Americans fought with the French. The British were victorious and in 1763 won all land east of the Mississippi River, including what's now Tennessee. At that time, the region was part of North Carolina. But after the American Revolution, Tennessee became its own U.S. state in 1796. 1830, President Andrew Jackson's Indian Removal Act forced Native Americans to leave all lands east of the Mississippi River. To this day, no state-recognized tribes live in Tennessee. Tennessee withdrew from the Union near the beginning of the Civil War in 1861, but became the first state to rejoin in 1866. Why is it called that? No one's sure how Tennessee got its name, but two Native American villages were called Tanasi and Tanasqui, which sounds similar to Tennessee. The state got its nickname from some impressive volunteer work. During the War of 1812, an estimated 20,000 troops volunteered to fight. And in 1846, 30,000 Tennesseans enlisted for the Mexican-American War. So a lot of people like to pitch in that state, so that's why they got the name volunteer. Geography and landforms. So there you can see it on the map. So Tennessee is bordered by Kentucky and Virginia in the north, North Carolina in the east, Georgia, Alabama, and Missouri in the west. Its wiggly western border is formed by the Mississippi River. Geologists divide the land into 6 major regions. The Unaka Mountains region is the most rugged in the state and rises along the eastern border. This area has forests and high peaks, including Clingman's Dome, Tennessee's highest point. Great Smoky Mountains National Park is also here. The Valley and Ridge region lies west of the mountains and is named for its low, fertile valleys and long tree-covered ridges. The ridges are sometimes called folds. Stretching north to south farther west is the Cumberland Plateau. Created by streams, deep valleys and gorges lie below flat-topped mountains. Lookout Mountain has views of 7 states. The Central Basin is in the center of the state, surrounded by another region called the Highland Rim, so the basin is sort of like a donut hole. Erosion helped form the basin, which is mostly fertile farmland with some hills and ridges. The Gulf Coastal Plain covers the westernmost part of the state. It lies on a fault line and in 1812 was the site of the worst earthquake in the continental United States. The temblor was so severe that land dropped several feet. The Mississippi River flowed backward and a new lake called Reelfoot was created. The land closest to the Mississippi is fertile swampland and often called the Delta. Wildlife. Black bears, mountain lions, gray foxes, bobcats, and white-tailed deer are among the mammals that scamper through Tennessee. Some of the most common birds are red-tailed hawks, which are right here, ospreys, eastern screech owls, pileated woodpeckers, known for their woody woodpecker-like crests, red-winged blackbirds, and summer tanagers, which stand out because of the male's bright red feathers. Eastern fence lizards, southern painted turtles, and pygmy rattlesnakes are some of the state's reptiles. And southern leopard frogs, red salamanders, and lesser sirens, a type of salamander without rear legs, are among Tennessee's amphibians. The state's native trees include sugar maple, pecan, eastern red cedar, loblolly pine, swamp chestnut oak, and bald cypress. Wildflowers like the rare yellow and white Tennessee glade cress, bright purple American beauty berry, wild bleeding heart, and autumn sneezeweed all grow in Kentucky. I wonder if the sneezeweed makes you sneeze. One of Tennessee's top resources is its fertile soil. In fact, almost half the state is farmland. The state is also known for mining minerals such as fluorite, calcite, pyrite, also called fool's gold, marble, and zinc. Now to the fun stuff. Frontiersman Davy Crockett and singers Aretha Franklin, Dolly Parton, Kenny Chesney, and Justin Timberlake were all born in Tennessee. Those are all great people. Graceland singer Elvis Presley's Memphis Mansion gets more visitors than any other U.S. home except for the White House. On display are Elvis's costumes, his pink Cadillac, and even his airplane with gold-plated seat belts. Visitors to the Country Music Hall of Fame in Nashville can see costumes, instruments, and artifacts from stars like Brad Paisley, Keith Urban, and Miranda Lambert. The Grand Ole Opry started as a country music radio show in 1925. Today it's broadcast live from Nashville, where audience can see stars like Carrie Underwood and groups such as Alabama Shakes perform. Great Smoky Mountains National Park is the United States' most visited national park. The Great Smoky Mountains are known as the salamander capital of the world, and the park alone has 30 different species. Tennessee is filled with important Native American archaeological sites, including the Shiloh Indian mounds, which were created as a resting place for important individuals about 800 years ago. And we do not have a bird video for Tennessee because we've seen the mockingbird before. So anyway, that is that. I will show you in the next video from the 50 States book and give you all the other information you may need for this. Hope you enjoyed learning about Tennessee, and that I'm sure, like me, you'll want to go visit, huh? All right, see you later.